and you don't go Simmons, then somebody needs to revoke the 76ers franchise license. Like it's over.
Yeah,
get someone like him. If you can get a guy like Murray, I guess. I mean, there's several other players that you can grab. But I mean, I tell you, things would have to be horribly wrong for the Sixers to screw up this next draft.
Here's the thing. So I'm on one of our good friends, NBADraft.net, in their mock draft. This is as of the 18th. The Sixers' 4 picks in order. Number 1, they had the first overall pick is Ben Simmons. They're picking again at 5 is Jamal Murray.
Right.
19 is Chris Dunn. And then 25 is Isaiah Briscoe from Kentucky. So, Mark, since you're the draft guy, those 4 picks, what do you think about those 4 picks?
They're good, but the Chris Dunn pick will not happen. He will not be 19.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you might get a guy like LeVert there, which I think would be a good fit.
He's solid.
I think that would be a good fit. I mean, he'll give you the scoring that you'd like on the wing, especially if you can get Simmons and Murray. Oh gosh, I mean, so again, things will have to go wrong, and we are talking about the Sixers, and things haven't gone right. So things would have to go even more wrong this upcoming summer for them to just be horrible again.
I know he's got Greg Oden syndrome, but why not try and trade Embiid and maybe package him with one or maybe 2 of their first-round draft picks and get a proven scorer, because that's what they need. They need a scorer.
At this point, they don't want to do that. They want those picks.
They don't want to win.
Yeah, they don't. Right
but
now,
I mean, if they're
going
to keep those first 2, I'm talking about next year though, going into the offseason. Why not try and trade Embiid?
This administration hasn't paid anybody. I don't see them. Oh, we'll take on an $80 million contract or something big. I just don't think they want to pay anybody right now.
Of course, here's the thing. If we get to next season and hypothetically they get Ben Simmons, then you're looking at they have Nerlens Noel, who's proven to be a good big. They have Jahlil Okafor, who is going to end up being good. You can trade one of those guys, and somebody will give you a lot. It could. I don't want to say it's going to be like what Oklahoma City had to do with James Harden, but you can't play them all. I mean, sooner or later you're going to have to trade them, and somebody who needs a quality big is going to open up the checkbook for him.
I'm telling you, I understand, with college, like Ben Simmons, he has to play inside because he's like one of the only big men on the team. He's a small forward at the next level. He is. He's not a power forward. He's not going to be a guy who battles down low. He's going to be a small forward at the next level. He can honestly play the 3, and really, the NBA has moved to these like kind of 3.5 guys, like Carmelo and guys like that. They aren't true 3s, they aren't 4s, but they're 3.5s. That's what Ben Simmons is. I think that's going to be his more natural fit. At least watching him play in high school and college, just in the first few games, that's pretty much where he's going to play.
And
I think personally, if they get that second first-round pick, and I understand Jamal Murray, he's a hot name, and he can score, and he has a nice game, I think they should be looking at Jaylen Brown. He's 6'8", he's athletic, he can really play defense, really can get up and down the floor, and then you just get yourself a point guard. And I think, bam, you'll have an athletic, big, physical lineup, and they're all young. Play those guys, and then maybe you can start to win.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring up the kind of small ball thought because that's kind of the trend that the NBA is going. And we wanted to get into a new topic, so it's kind of a good lead-in. What is the new trend in the NBA? In my opinion, it's offense trumps defense. And it's not that the Warriors don't play defense because they're not a bad defensive team. But let's be honest, their goal is to outscore you. If Steph Curry's playing against somebody, if he's playing against Chris Paul and Chris Paul scores 35, guess what? Steph Curry's mentality is, I'm going to score 36. That's his version of defense this year. So let's talk about this a little bit because defense has been a long-standing thing in the NBA that defense wins championships. Mm-hmm. Now, I would tend to disagree that the trend is actually headed in a different direction now. Do you have to play some semblance of defense? Yes, you do. Listen, you cannot be the Phoenix Suns. We saw that. The D'Antoni Suns where they just try to outscore you. Mm-hmm. Come playoff time, it doesn't work. So you do have to have some kind of defense. But I think that the NBA, you can see, is actually heading towards a more offensive transition and getting those smaller power forwards that can run up and down the floor faster and shoot better is where the league is headed, which, I mean, it tells you everything you need to know about offense, defense.
You know what? I have to actually agree with that, Paul. One thing that you do notice with Golden State is kind of like all we need to do is just get enough stops. We don't have to be a superior defensive team that just locks you down and you score 65 points a game. Nope. All we got to do is just get enough stops and then outscore you, and we'll win. We'll win that way.
Right.
And that works. To be honest with you, it definitely works. One thing that they have going for them, they have some tough guys, in the paint, starting with Draymond Green. He's a tough guy. He might be undersized, but he's a tough guy. Festus Ezeli is a tough guy. So I think, when you look at that and they can start to bring more guys in like that in that system, it'll continue to roll. Like, Draymond Green got hurt. Guess what? Well, Kevon Looney's healthy, and he got in, and he did the same thing. So, Golden State has a formula. They know what they're doing. I think, maybe a big team could offset that a little bit, but I like the way they're going with that small ball. It really works for them because they have the players to do it.
Right.
Keyword, the right players to do it. So you have to pretty much have, you have to draft. I think you have to, like you said, we talk about Stan Van Gundy.
Free agency is important as well.
Like, we were mentioning about Stan Van Gundy earlier. You have to pretty much mold a team together, in the mentality of that style. So it's something that doesn't take overnight, and you have to, like you said, get the right players in the right place. But the game is becoming more offensive, and you're right. I think teams like, we say Golden State, don't forget Oklahoma City, a team that can score a lot of points. Yeah. But they can play solid defense when Enes Kanter's not in the game.
It reminds me of a phrase: bend but don't break defense.
Exactly.
It's not stifling defense. It's they bend but they don't break.
Exactly.
What do you want out of Golden State's defense? They're fifth in the league right now in defensive efficiency, giving up 96.8 points per 100 possessions. I mean, like, they're one of a few teams that are in the top 10 in both defensive and offensive efficiency. Like, what do you want out of their defense? You want them to be, the Heat right now, who are the best defensive team in the league at 94 points?
No, it's not. Listen, stats don't always tell the story. All right, there's an eye test, and part of Golden State's offense, or part of their defense, is their offense. They get you into their game, and if you don't play that game well, guess what they just did? They played defense by not playing defense. So it's there's more to those numbers than what they suggest.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
We'll continue more after this after the break. 407-916-8255 or toll free 800-729-8255. This is Full Court Press, sponsored by SOFOELC on the new 96.9 The Game. We'll be right back after the break.
Looking for a fun experience on the water with your family? Bring them to the Orlando Water Sports Complex, located off Highway 528 near OIA. The Orlando Water Sports Complex provides an experience you won't soon forget, featuring cable wakeboarding, as well as the Super Air Nautique G23, the world's best wakeboarding and wake surfing boat for guests to enjoy. For more info, visit actionparks.com. That's AKTIONPARKS.com. And tell them Full Court Press sent you.
When it comes to shopping, StageStores.com puts the you in value with great prices on styles for everyone. Brands like Skechers, Sperry, Madden Girl, Calvin Klein, Oshkosh & Carter's, and more. Plus, our mobile app makes shopping a snap. Download it and get special offers with amazing sales and coupons. It's like getting some extra stylishness for yourself for free. StageStores.com. Value at your fingertips. Style delivered right to your door.
We're all born with the blues, whether we want to admit it or not. Though you'll truly experience the blues from a different yet very unique perspective when you visit Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues. At Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues, you'll experience some amazing sounds from aspiring, talented musicians in the blues genre. Be sure to download Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues Android app from Google Play Store and get wired to the Rattled Beach Show on Friday nights. Blues on. YippieKiABlues.com.
It all starts now. Shop Macy's Black Friday doorbusters 6 p.m. Thursday till 1 p.m. Friday. Cashmere sweaters for her, $39.99. Diamond and gemstone rings, $49.99. Men's sweaters and outerwear, 50% off. Kitchen electrics, $7.99 and $9.99 after mail-in rebate. Shop Macy's Black Friday doorbusters 6 p.m. Thursday till 1 p.m. Friday. Store hours vary. Savings off regular and sale prices. Exclusions apply.
This is the beat of sports.
It hurts.
But look at it like this.
Because you're not feeling pain today. I feel pain about what happened to the Giants yesterday. You don't care. You're going to debate if it's a catch or no catch as a football fan. I'm hurting today. Pain.
I'm hurting, but I'm
crying on the inside.
Well, relax. Everything's going to be okay. I want you to know.
Everything's okay. The Redskins are about to tie us in the East.
That's a problem, by the way.
The Beat of Sports with Marc Daniels.
9 a.m. weekdays on FM 96.9 The Game.
Looking to expand your reach and following in all platforms of media? Need a jumpstart in expanding your brand to all markets across the world? SOFO is here for you. SOFO means something for everyone, and they help expand your business through all platforms of media. Need to grow on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram? Their experienced team expands your brand and puts your business in places you would have never been before. Call SOFO at 407-607-9862 or follow SOFOELLC on Instagram and Twitter.
You love music.
I love music.
But not one genre.
1,000.
You can't be defined by one artist.
Nope.
Well, with iHeartRadio's My Favorites Radio, you now have a station that collects all your favorite music in one place. Anything you thumb up is added. So if you like rock and roll, followed by yodeling, do you, big man. It's all free.
Thank God.
Download our iHeartRadio app today or listen online at iHeartRadio.com.
The Sports RX with Brandon Kravitz and the Shot Doctor.
Nick Saban will resign and never coach again if Treon Harris beats him in a playoff. That he would quit on the spot. Are you kidding me? Who the hell wants to see that? The Gators, they've had a nice year. Who wants to watch the Gators beat Alabama? I don't want to see that.
The Sports RX with Brandon Kravitz and the Shot Doctor. Weekday afternoons at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game.
Listeners, now I know you've heard of this up-and-coming brand Hoop Culture, which is headquartered right here in Orlando, Florida. But here's something that you didn't know. They are opening a flagship store in Fashion Square Mall, downstairs right in front of the movie theater. That's right, the brand that has brought you the iconic Eat, Sleep, Ball design is bringing their streetwear brand to retail. Stay ahead of the fashion trends. Go visit them online at hoopculture.com or follow them at Hoop Culture. Our listeners save 30% off your next order. Use the code RADIO at checkout.
Dear God, what is this? This is FM 96.9, The Game.
We are back for the final segment here at Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC. You want to check in with us tonight like Brian did, 407-916-8255 or toll-free 800-729-8255. Well, we got a few minutes left on the show, and so, guys, we're having a nice little conversation in the break, and so we're going to probably take it on air. We're talking about All-Star games coming up, and as we know, the Fighting Kobe's are now down 3-0 as Draymond Green hits a three-pointer, and the game is now over. All right.
I told you at 2 to 3 minutes it'll be a 10-point game, and then after that you can forget about it.
We're talking about the NBA All-Star Game. I know we're just a month into the season. All-Star Game's not until February, but a lot of times the coaches and the players and the fans pick their guards. And so right now the Western Conference has 3 strong guards. Of course, we all know Curry, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. Those 3 are given the All-Star Game. If you're taking one more guard right now, which guard are you taking right now? Is it Rajon Rondo in Sacramento who's just throwing up assist numbers everywhere? We're talking about
he's almost a walking triple-double lately.
You're talking about one of the backcourt members of the Phoenix Suns, whether it be Brandon Knight or Eric Bledsoe.
Both of them are balling.
We're talking about Damian Lillard in Portland.
Killing it.
I mean, we still had you mention Chris Paul. Who's always Chris Paul.
I mean, he's Chris Paul, but
he's missed time.
Yeah, he's missed time. Hasn't looked. I mean, he's had a couple really good games, but I don't know. And I'm a big advocate of Chris Paul, but I wouldn't put him in there. Not right now. I wouldn't.
So if you're picking one guy to be the 4th guard, Zach, since you're the Magic expert, and besides you're pretty much a regular here too, I'm gonna let you go first. Who are you taking?
Well, first off, I'm not taking James Harden right now.
Ooh.
I'm going to take Damian Lillard and Andrew Wiggins instead.
Now, do you count Wiggins as a guard?
I do.
Yeah, he's playing shooting guard, so I would count him as a guard.
I have him as shooting guard.
Well, we're talking point guards though.
It's guard.
Okay, guard. So you're taking Wiggins?
Well, I mean the criteria is 4 guards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And would I take? I don't have an answer to this question. I really don't know. You know what I would probably do in this. I would do the old-fashioned draw straws. Like, it's that close.
Let them fight for it?
Yeah, I mean, we can throw them in a ring.